What's up? Let me see if I got a level. I think I got something. Could be a little bit loud over my voice here. Shout out to Bill Shaw. Shout out to Rock and. Shout out to Armand Armstead. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it very much. Shout out to Eduardo Cloth. Shout out to F. Smittick. Shout out to Pascal Berry, and congratulations. So, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. I mean, this is, I think, like day 3. This Bob Ross challenge. I'm calling it the Bob Ross challenge. I still want to hear that bass line though. Prophet 6 is so beefy. So anyway, all right guys, basically this is what I want to talk about today is live broadcasting in general. We've got tons of technology at our fingertips right now. Some of it's kind of difficult to understand, some of it's harder to use, and I've had quite a bit of experience with some of this stuff. I've been doing multi-camera type tests and like multi-camera live streams and using multi-camera workflow now for a couple years. But it started out with the iPad and the the iPad with the other iOS devices, and I'll get to that, and I'll tell you guys all about this stuff. All right, so my name's Will, and I just felt like I needed to put myself in an uncomfortable situation more so that I can get better at things that I want to be better at. So for me to be a better host, broadcaster, live musician, whatever, I got to practice and I got to be out here. And you can only practice so much in your room by yourself until you know, it matters when the camera's on. So because it matters, then I need to really try to do it with the cameras on. Um, Shout out to the chat. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it very much. I see you guys. And so I actually had a couple questions, and I'm going to go ahead and get to those because if you have a question about today's live stream, leave a question, leave a comment. I'll look them over, and then I'll start the show, I guess. Maybe I'll do it towards the end. I don't know. But today, I'll do it right now. And this was from C500 Music. He said, hey, do you know where to get instrument samples for, I believe analog is probably what he was going for, analog and digital keyboards for the MPC-X? And this is a great question because a lot of people right now are picking up on the X and the Live because of the new drop of the One, the MPC One. So a lot of people are excited about that, and they're, using this to their advantage to pick up hardware on the secondhand market. And the prices may drop. They may drop further. Who knows for the X and the Live? But that stuff is somewhat predictable, but not always. So anyway, the question, um, personally, so since this question was on the last YouTube uh, event, yesterday I think it was live stream. Um, Maybe there's people that are VST people, plug-in stuff like that, but you can see, I mean, I have a lot of this analog stuff, so I typically will make my own analog sounds. Um, C500 Music, if you're here or if you want to get some of that analog sound, just shoot me an email at iwill.music, EYEWILL dot music at Gmail. Let's get connected, and let's if you want to get a hold of some samples to use, then I can provide that. I mean, just you know, I got to know a little bit more. So anyway, that was that question. I had another question that I thought might be relevant, especially for the last couple days. And this is, what time is your live show tonight? And I took that as like a subtle hint. So thank you, Rhythmic Design. I took that as a subtle hint, like, dude, you need a time so I know when to be there. I want to pose a question to the people. Just leave times that you guys watch stuff, because if I'm gonna try to make this work for me, like I'm good late night stuff, but also I'm on the East Coast, so people on the East Coast probably can't do 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning. But let me know, and we can work on that. And I want to have a show that is normal and easy and chill, because you guys can easily provide a lot of content for these. Post links in here, I can share them and show them. I mean, let's just have a place to do some different things. Okay, so like I said, if you have any questions about like what happens today or in the future, just leave something for me to find. um, all right, so today today I talked about the live broadcasting thing, and what I told you was that for me to get better at this and to be, you know, I don't know if the word is, if prolific is too strong of a word, but if you want to be efficient and really good at certain things, you got to practice a lot. So I know that what's going to happen is I'm going to fail a lot. So I figured if I have to fail a certain amount of times to feel like I'm comfortable with things, then let's just start failing and just Let's go. Let's just get it over with. All right. So there's things like OBS, right? So we got tons of freaking things. Like you've got Twitch and YouTube, and then you've got things like OBS. What I use is StreamYard. So if you're gonna make content and you want to do it on a live platform, you have to figure out what is your audience, what is the content that you're trying to present. So if you want to go very simple, then what you can do is just use a smartphone with some sort of mic if you feel it's necessary. But the thing is, some services like YouTube won't allow you to do live stream podcasts or broadcasts from your mobile device unless you have a certain amount of subscribers. I believe it's 1,000. So if you want to do live broadcasts on YouTube, you have to use a desktop or some sort of third party app. Um, there's apps for iOS that do this that can bypass. This is the loophole. So don't think that just because you don't have a lot of subscribers that you can't live stream from a mobile. Or don't think that if you don't think you have an audience, just remember that in order for you to become efficient at what you're doing, you really need to do it a lot. So having no audience in the beginning is good because you're going to fail a lot and you will pick up really dedicated followers in the beginning because they're watching you freaking lose it and they stick around. So when they stick around, that gives you a little bit more confidence. So it's not a bad thing to not have an audience, but it's a bad thing to not try. And I'm guilty of it too. Like I have a lot of ideas and I have a lot of things I want to try to do. But you know, a lot of times you're able to do half of something, but you need a little bit more. Maybe you need a sidekick for a video, or maybe you need a group. So really, a pool of like-minded people that all want to contribute to make cool content that will last the stand of time. Listen, we don't need to talk about thousands of years here, but it would be cool if people could find some videos in like 20 years and say, wow, this was kind of cool. So it's possible. We have technology. So OBS is going to be a bit of a learning curve with you. There's some great videos out there, but what OBS is, and we're going to go into like more detailed stuff on another live stream, but I'm not going to like get real technical today because if I haven't even explained everything, it doesn't make sense to. There's stuff, voicemeeter, OBS, StreamYard, YouTube, like Twitch. All this stuff are kind of popular terms, but they're still not like intuitive. You still have to freaking learn the stuff. So, like I said, YouTube, you need to have a desktop computer or a third party app if you're going to use mobile or 1,000 subscribers. So one of these apps is called Switcher Studio. That's one that I used for quite a while. And because I have a couple old iPhone 4s and 5s, I have 3 of them, I was able to use those as a multi-camera setup. So let's check out a video and I'll show you exactly what Switcher Studio is.
So it's really easy to go live on Facebook, on YouTube, but the challenge is you only have like one camera angle. You can't share your screen or do anything creative like lower thirds or logos. And so Switcher Studio has an awesome solution that solves that problem, and we're going to talk about it in this video. Hey, what's up, guys? Sean here with Thick Media TV, helping you go further, faster in media. And we're here at NAB at the Facebook Live Video Solutions Pavilion. And I'm here with Nick from Switcher Studio. How's it going?
Good. Happy to be here. Busy week.
Pumped to be here as well. We've been hanging out, checking out this software-based solution for going live, but doing a lot of cool things. So Nick, break down what this is and show us some stuff.
Yeah, so with Switcher, you can use your iPhone or iPad to do TV style productions. No special hardware required. To get started, you go to our website, switcherstudio.com, and create an account. And once you get set up, you can log into one of the devices to put your logo on screen, bring in images, graphics, pre recorded videos. So if you have an intro, B roll, interviews, it really ups the production value and makes your content more engaging.
That's really, really cool. So one of the things you could do is you can just use an iPad, let's say, and that could be your main source. That could be your camera, and you set that up. And you could plug your audio source into that, like a little lav mic or something. And then you also, even if you only use one camera, as he said, what's really cool here is there's a few like pre-recorded videos. So if you just had videos on your camera roll, you could have maybe like an ad or an intro video, or maybe like an upcoming event you're doing or something you want people to see. That's
So without losing too much here, without losing too much train of thought, I just want to say something. This app is so cool for a lot of reasons. The main reason why it blew my mind wasn't when I was using it, it was when I bought this. And I'll get into this. This is a hardware switcher. What I found out was that Switcher Studio uses the lightning port from the iPad. Actually, you can even use your iPhone as the host. You don't need an iPad. So it will actually send the feed of only the preview feed. So you're on your device, you're sitting there looking at all the angles plus all of the other stuff that you have. If you have videos that you're trying to launch, if you have ads, if you have transitions, swipes, whatever, all that is right on screen. So what it actually projects with the lightning adapter is only the preview screen. So it's beautiful because that feed, one single HDMI with 3 or 4 iOS devices with all the angles, it'll send just the mixed feed out of the HDMI and then into a hard, if you want, this is what I've done, is into a hardware switcher. So then it turns your 3 hardware switcher, your 3 camera hardware switcher into 7. So you would switch to number 3, and then number 3 you would use to rotate through all the iOS devices. So that's pretty amazing. So I just wanted just to say that as a side note.
it's a little more highly produced, which is nice because a lot of times Facebook Live is just talking head.
A really good use case we've seen with businesses or groups on Facebook, get a shot of your storefront, get B-roll of your products. If you're a bakery, show some rolls, get an interview with the customer, and you can take these small pieces and intersperse them during your live broadcast. It's a lot more engaging. You can switch things up,
Wait a minute.
and it allows you to start making better content.
Absolutely.
Is this guy my brother? Is this my long lost brother?
What's really cool is that the app is friendly. There's a couple other things you like edit your logo in Photoshop and bring it in as a transparent file. You can just put that on top of your videos the entire time, right? You could have your own branding on your videos for live streams.
Absolutely. You can make lower thirds for names. If you have your logo that you want on screen or a sponsor, bake that into your content. And it's a great way to start monetizing your videos. If you want to do more than the one built-in camera, all you need to do is launch the app on another iPhone or iPad. As long as it's on the same Wi-Fi or hotspot, it's available as a source. So you can do up to 4 cameras. And even though we're using iPhones and iPads, we have really advanced camera controls where you can adjust exposure, white balance, ISO.
Okay, so this is another crazy point. You can literally focus, you can zoom, you can do everything from a single iPad. So if I'm sitting here and I've got a camera behind me, a camera over here and over here, I can actually zoom in that camera over there with your 2 fingers from your iPad. They even have like a tracking control thing where you can zoom it in and then scroll the picture from side to side. There's also a device that pairs with it. I can't remember what it's called at the moment, but it pairs with this thing. And once you've paired it, it will follow your phone. So if your phone is like, I think this is how it works. I haven't, I don't have one. I try to speak on experience, but if you have this this little device, you put your phone inside of it and it tracks movement somehow. whether it tracks your face, whether it tracks your face or whatever, I'm not sure. But very, very cool app.
So shutter speed, even depth of field, so you can blur out the foreground or the background, make it look like an expensive digital SLR. So you can do a lot with these devices using the Switcher Studio software. Our next update, we're going to be adding comments or reactions for Facebook and YouTube, so you'll be able to see those coming in from the directing interface. And our big news for this show here at NAB is integration with the DJI Osmo Mobile. No, we don't
Osmo.
support drones,
That's what it
but
is.
DJI has a handheld gimbal you can use to get smooth, steady handheld shots. We've taken that piece of hardware and made it even better. Using it with Switcher Studio, we can remotely control the device. So we could
That thing.
move it left, right, up, down from across the room. It makes your 3 or 4 camera setup start to look like
That's
6 or
crazy.
8 cameras.
That's awesome. And so how many total sources can you put into it?
Switcher Studio, you can do up to 4 iPhones or iPads. You can bring in as sources. We also have a screen sharing tool you can install on your Mac. The entire display shows up as a source. If you're doing a Skype call, a presentation, you want to bring up a website, that could be a part of your production. Shows up just like one of the other cameras. You can even grab the webcam from your Mac and use that as a source.
That's really, really cool. Well, we'll of course list all the details about Switcher Studio in the description below. So definitely check those out. And then what website is it out? There's definitely the free version. What do you get with that? And then if you go to advanced, what do you get?
So there's a free version in the App Store. It's Switcher Go. It allows you to use the built-in camera and add up to 4 photos or videos. So you can get a taste of what's possible with some basic video switching. Switcher Studio, you can go to our website, switcherstudio.com. That includes access to the app, desktop tools, cloud services, and support. If you have any questions, drop us a line. Check us out online at switcherstudio.com. First 14 days are on us.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
So this thing is really cool anyway. So that thing is probably like, if I was trying to get into some sort, and it's a subscription based service when you get past the initial entry level thing. So if it's like it's free and they give you a couple camera things, a couple camera angles or devices, I guess. But if you want more than a couple, then you're part of the subscription plan. I think the top tier, if you're going to do broadcasts weekly or like several a month, I think the very top tier is like $30 a month. And yeah, that's a lot of money, but if you're using it a lot, it makes things really interesting. So I recommend it. Even if it's just a single app and you don't buy the subscription, you can use that single app to prepare live streams. So I think it's a very, very cool thing. And it's one that I would definitely be looking into if I was trying to have a little bit more dynamics, I guess. Not that I have any, but it's just that, inexpensive option. The most inexpensive options are usually the ones I tend to try to flush out first. All right. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this one. So this is the Roland VR1 HD, and looks like I'm kind of like not really on it, but there you go. So it's a 3-camera switcher, and it's made for musicians and people wanting to share things. So I'll go ahead and launch that. I try to keep these short so that, and I'm going to check while this is playing, I'm going to go and check the chat.
Hi, Will from Music Tech here at the NAMM show in Anaheim with Chris on the Roland booth, and we are checking out a mixer for live streaming. Chris, can you tell us a bit more about this?
Sure. So this is our brand new product. It's the VR1 HD. We just launched it at CES just a few weeks ago. It's really inspired by the live content creators. So content creators who want to go to Facebook Live or YouTube, or even the gamer who wants to go to Twitch. So we take some cameras, video inputs, some audio inputs, kind of mix them all together, and then we send it out to a computer for the purpose of streaming.
So how many inputs does it have?
So we have 3 HDMI video, which also carries audio. We have 2 XLR microphone inputs, and we have 1 RCA line input.
So these mic inputs, they have phantom power, so you can use condensers as well, yeah?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, great. And I see you've got an audio effects option here. What does that do?
Yep. So audio effects is really for allowing you on the for the performer. We have a reverb, so classic reverb for a musician or a singer. We have the ability to add sound effects. So this one, as an example, is a clap track. So there's clapping going on right now. BGM is background music, or could be stingers or intros and outros to the live show. And then the voice changer. Now, the voice changer was really purpose built for the gamer. So we know in the gaming world, people spend lots of money and time and energy building the perfect character.
Yeah.
So now they can build the perfect voice for their character.
And that's adjustable, presumably.
It is, yes, completely customizable.
Okay, I guess that's not going to have many applications in the musical world, but
Probably
who
not,
knows?
but maybe it is based on our VT4, which is our our industry standard for voice changing.
Right. Okay. And so there's also these three inputs. What's going on with the inputs? I see an auto switching looking button here.
Yeah. So auto switch is one of the coolest
is
features,
pretty cool.
I think, in my personal opinion. So when you enable auto switch, right now we're enabling what's called beat sync mode. So right now what's happening is, if you look at the monitor, the camera inputs are switching automatically based on the tempo of Alex's performance.
So it only will cut from one camera to the next on a beat,
Yes.
like a real human editor.
It does. It has like an auto beat sync thing that once it catches the tempo, it'll keep it there and it will adjust. So if you stop the beat midway and then you pick the beat up again, it'll start playing. It'll start switching again. So that's pretty cool. The only problem with it that I find is that it only gives you a count of 10. So it counts like bars, and then you can only have it switch every 10th bar. I want it to switch like every 20th bar. I don't want it to be so short, because it feels like it's constantly switching, and I find myself reaching to shut it off temporarily and then turn it back on, which is fine.
Yeah.
So,
and you can take that beat from any of the inputs. So any of the HDMI or any of the audio any audio inputs could.
Okay, so you've got three. What you've got is three HDMI inputs. So you've got an output that they call the main output. That main output, basically, it's this one. This is the main output, and that shows you what is going out to the feed from your end. The through port is the second screen goes from the through port. So there's an HDMI through port. The through port works on camera number 3, and camera number 3 has 0 latency. It's a pass through. So it's for gamers and people that want to have a real-time video during their live stream. They can use this, and it won't go through the processing that the other ones do. And then there's a monitor, HDMI output for monitoring. And then what you can do with that's the one where you can actually change the screen. You can see, like, I can monitor on the main screen, or I can monitor on another screen, which I don't really have room for here. So that's that. Now, if you want to talk about, like, how do you get into these things, they're pretty freaking expensive. So I can show you. Yeah, so this one. And there's a free option here too that I'm going to show you in just a second. So this one, that's the Go, actually. Sorry about that. Where is it? Right here. So right now, they're still up there. And it's about $1,500. That's a lot of money. So if you're committed to it and you think that you can make it work, it's a big leap. It really is. And there's a learning curve, because each channel, each HDMI, there's 2 mic inputs plus a third audio input. Those all have dynamics, EQing, filtering, panning, everything, like echo, like canceling things, and there's a lot. So let me show you guys a really cheap alternative to a subscription based and to a switcher, a hardware switcher. So this is a hardware switcher. Now, when you look at the price of what I just showed you, it's 3 inputs. So you got 3 camera inputs. There's a 2 camera input. So Lifted Noise sent me this a while back, and he was asking what I thought. So I'm going to share it with you guys, and you guys can take a look, and I can show you the price on that one. This is it right here. Oh shit. Come on, man. What did I just do? That's not, did I erase it? Oh, that's frustrating. Hold on 1 second there, folks. I apologize. Where'd it go? I got it right here. Hey, this stuff happens. That's all I have to worry about. That would be great.
Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to show you how to do the classic cat eye.
Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a quiche Lorraine. So what we're going to need is Gruyere, eggs, knives, creme fraiche.
So I make an outline and then do like a triangle and then run it through.
That's badass.
Thanks for tuning in today. You guys learned a little bit about
So that one uses 2 smartphones as an input source, and then you can produce your live stream. You've got ability to upload your own videos live. You can also you can record it, like it's got its own recording cloud, I think, and then it's even got a battery in it, which is pretty nice. And so the price tag on these goes to $250, I believe. $250-ish. This could be a different model. I'm not 100% positive, but this was just my initial kind of look at it. And I understand, like, $250, it's a lot of money, but these are your options. So I'm not saying that anybody needs any of this stuff. If I'm going to talk about something that I have experience with, this is something for sure that I know there are people that would like to have some insight on live broadcasting and how it works. So these are a few options, and we can talk about what you do with them. Like, okay, now you've got a device or an app or something. So you're going to have your own, how do you want to do it? Do you want to make music? Do you want to talk? Do you want to have a voice that just you talk about things that are important to you? Are you doing it for monetary reasons? Are you trying to turn it into a career? Are you just doing it for yourself or for like therapeutic reasons, like myself? This is another option. So here you got a free version of some of these other platforms. This is through YouTube. YouTube has started allowing multiple cameras on live events. So what that means is you can actually have a camera set up, like a webcam, plugged into your computer, and set it up to stream a vodcast. If you want to have a behind the scenes camera, get another webcam, plug it in, go create another event. And those 2 events will count as one stream, or vice versa. One stream counts for 2 broadcasts, but there's potentially some benefits to the analytics, I guess. Like I'm not an analytics person. I should be. I'm a damn nerd all the way through and through. But I thought this was interesting. So um, you go in, you make an event, and then I even tried it just to see what would happen. And I didn't run a live stream, but I did go through the preferences. And after I added the second camera, I added a third. After I added the third, a fourth option popped up. So I don't know what the limit is, but if you have an event going on or you have something that you think needs multiple angles and you don't have money, do that. Set up a live event from your desktop or from yeah, you'll have to do it from a desktop. Get yourself a couple cheap webcams. They're like you can even find them for like 20 or 30 bucks now at Walmart. You can have a multi-camera live stream. You won't be able to switch between them, I don't believe. Maybe there's a way around that. But anyway, so I thought those were pretty cool options. And for me, like, I'm just going to use what I know and whatever is comfortable, and then I'll experiment on the side. So with me, I started with the iPad app, Switcher Studio, and I experimented and I tried different things. I did a ton of research. I always do a ton of research when it comes to this stuff. Hey, let me see. Just want to say what's up to the chat, everybody. Good question. Let's pull that up. That's a great question. He says, can this one record in stereo? So if we're talking about the other, let's pull it up. Because it was actually right on the, here it is right here. All right, let me get in and see if it'll give me any information. Okay, products. This laptop is not my first choice here. All right, connectors, mic jacks. Combo type, XLR, wow. 1/4 inch TRS phone. And phantom power, that's a lot. Line in jacks, stereo, miniature. Phone type, headphone and headset jack. Stereo, miniature, phone type. Cool, man. So yes, the answer is yes. The answer is yes, it does have stereo out. That's awesome. It has quite a bit of stuff, actually. It's a little bit more full featured than I expected. Because to me, it was like this thing's little brother, So I just figured it would be a lot less featured. So okay, here's a question right here. I have a Windows desktop. What's the best way to participate in your live stream? All right, man. Well, there's several ways. If you want to participate in a live stream, I've got an email, iwill.music@gmail. If you send me an email and we can get not a parts list, but like get an idea of what you're working with, let's do something, man. If you've got some music you want to share, I can also, if you just want to come and anybody wants to come in and just say what's up or just, claim your spot, then there it is. So you click on that and, I'm going to try to remember to do this regularly to make sure I put this link in here. That's it. It's really that simple. You want to participate? Just say what's up and let's figure out what we can do. So I'm down always. So moving on. And if I see anybody pop up in here, I'll be sure to answer the bell. So moving on. Let me see. I did put some other things. So one thing I want to talk about on another day is and I can't do it tomorrow. I'm going to try to make this 13 days. So tomorrow, in order for me to do a broadcast tomorrow, I'm going to have to simplify a little bit to save a bit of time. I got something else going on. So if you're down for some Bob Ross talk, I got some. I want to share some things that are about Bob Ross, this documentary that is really quite, as far as like a somebody trying to do something to change the world. That guy, I just find inspiration in that dude everywhere. So let's see here. I'm having bad. I'm having some real bad cramps in my hands and in my feet today. So I actually think I did it, man. I think that's it. I think I covered everything. I don't need to go an hour. I don't need to go 5 hours. I just want to cover good content. So I just want to make sure that broadcasting is totally doable. Anyone can do it. Um, if you have specific questions about a platform, you know what? Why don't I do this right now? Let me show you what StreamYard looks like. I just got to remember. Oh, there it is. All right. This is what StreamYard looks like, guys. So if you want to participate in a live stream, this is where you'll be. And when you enter in the live stream, your little, your section, your little box will show up here. But if you want to make a live stream, it's pretty simple. I can't do it right now, but this is your your go-to spot, this avatar, this little icon. So you're going to click on this icon. You know what? I can do it on this computer. Let me do that. Hold on. I can do it right from here. And I can show you guys how to set up a broadcast right now. And this is free. So there's no reason why, if you want to create live streams on your own, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to. Okay. Now, of course, I've got something wacky going on my computer too at the moment. You can barely see anything, of course. I don't know what's up with this. If anybody knows how to correct this, it's not the resolution settings. It's not any of that stuff, because all the rest of my stuff is fine. If it's for whatever reason, this damn thing has been like this and I keep forgetting about it. So I don't think I can show you another live stream, but I'll try. Did I drop that whole thing? Was I just gone? Yeah, you guys are gone. Wow. I did not know I was gone. I apologize to everyone. Oh, Jesus. I was showing you guys how to do a live broadcast, how to make a live broadcast. And apparently I vanished. So everybody else vanished too. I'm not sure. I apologize, guys. I don't know what just happened. Did I go away? I don't know. So anyway, that's how you make a broadcast. I can't tell if anybody's here or not. So, oh, really? Interesting. That's weird. All right. That's cool though. Hey, what's up, Rocco? Good to see you, man. I know it's late where you are. Um, but as far as broadcasting goes, I don't really have any much else for you other than these couple key things. If you want to do live streams, you have to make sure you have enough bandwidth. Bandwidth is like it's like an enigma, but you need certain number of megabytes per second if you want to have a live stream that doesn't drop frames. A safe zone is anywhere between 3,500 and 5,500 megabytes per second. So I suggest that you have more than 5, because when I had 5, I was at the very limit. I was at like 5,200, and I was dropping frames even when I wasn't supposed to be. So I upgraded, and now I have a gig. I've got a thousand, or what is it? Whatever it is. I have a gig download speed and 40 megabytes per second upload speed. So I have not that problem anymore. But your bandwidth can be tested very easily. I'll show you how to test your bandwidth. So if you go to Google and you type in internet speed test, there's one in particular that will pop up called Ookla. All the research I've done says this is the most accurate. They have the most locations. This one right here says Ookla. So you click on that. Let's do a test right now. Let's remember, I'm live, so I don't know. It'll probably drop some, but I should be pretty strong. That's a lot. If you're seeing numbers of 100 here, you're good. So these are not typical unless you're in like a high speed area. So I have enough bandwidth to probably have a couple live streams going at once to different servers. Probably, if I wanted to do if I wanted to try experimenting and doing different things and stuff like that, which is what I like to do, try to do different things, try new workflows. I even want to try to make tracks live with other people. This allows pretty freaking low latency. StreamYard, I would say, is less than a second. For sure, it's less than a second. It's probably like half a second. So you don't need much more than that. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Working night shifts. I hear you there. Yeah, I know I dropped out. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't. Yeah, whatever. Fail. So bandwidth. Find out how much you have, then you know what you can do. And it is actually a thing. So you can change your bandwidth settings inside of stuff like OBS. You can use OBS with StreamYard. You can use OBS with YouTube. You can use it as a virtual camera. So if you want to run, let's say you've got an MPCX and you've got MPC software, you can actually run MPC software using OBS as a virtual camera so that you can project your session, your MPC session, to YouTube, so that you can capture your session in StreamYard. You can capture that as a separate input. so that you'll have your camera. It's like doing a side by side thing here. I don't have a side by side set up, but you can have a side by side. So you can have your session, your music session, or you know what? I'm even going to do before this 13-day challenge ends. I'm going to actually buy, maybe I'm going to do it. That's it for the 13th live stream. I am going to do a painting. I'm going to do a freaking Bob Ross style using the wet on wet technique, and I'm going to paint. And this entire process right now is I'm following the path of it's you can call it what you want. It's corny, okay? It is. But he did something really powerful with what he had. And all he had was his little paintbrush. So how big is the measure to find out if you've changed the world or not? Like you can change the world negatively or you can change the world positively. So what's the number? How many lives do you have to change to be able to be considered somebody that changed the world? I would argue that that dude changed, like, at least in the United States. So I can't speak outside of the United States, but he was in 95% of the network of the broadcast public broadcast network um, centers throughout the country. So out of all the public broadcasting in the country, 95% were carrying Bob Ross episodes on a regular basis. And he's the only person to ever have those numbers. So he was reaching tons and tons of people. And he went on a journey where he was trying to reach people one at a time. And they weren't buying like his artwork, they were buying his thought that creativity is therapeutic. And if you want to um, therapize yourself or just to express yourself, then use paint as your canvas and just learn because anyone can do it. And he always said, if you have if you have an idea in your mind and the heart to carry it out, you can achieve anything. So I'm just gonna do what he said and just try to just, you know, go through what he did. And this guy was like relentless. So he did it for 13 weeks every season, you know? And if I can't do it for 13 days, that's a problem. So on the 13th day, I'm going to do a Bob Ross painting. Bank it. All right. So that was quite a little spiel. Let me just see if there's anybody. Hey. All right, cool. All right. So this is definitely it. And I'm going to head out. Thank you guys for being here. I never got any input on the time, did I? Oh, hold on a second. He says, wait, hold on. What did I just do there? There's, how am I getting these pop-ups during a freaking live stream? Tell me that. No, not that one. This one. Is this person still here? Yeah, man, Bob Ross. Such a positive dude. Um, I don't know if this dude is still here or could be not a dude, I guess, but were they asking for help to get 200 subscribers? I think that's what he said. Anyway, yeah, man, I don't care about the subscriber thing. I just know that if you're building real relationships with people, and that's, you know, I guess that's one measure of success or one measure of wealth is just the people that you can call friends. And I don't know what else there really is in the world outside of, you know, going to work every day and doing the in and out. You're just trying to survive and form relationships along the way. So, other than that, I wouldn't worry about your subscriber count. Just do what you want to do and just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons and stay positive. And when you do need help with something, just reach out to people. Other than that, it's just a lot of hard work and you got to be okay with failing a lot. So that's it, guys. I'm out. Peace, everybody. I will. Oh, will do. I will do that. Thank you, bro. All right, guys. Till next time.